Hello guys! As I teased in the other video, in my deck profile, I am doing a video about specifically beating two of the hand traps in this format. Specifically Droll and Ash Blossom, and how you interact with them. And I'll show how two cards in this deck, if you draw the God combo, plays through both of these and still puts down interruptions. So, first of all, what are the most important cards that we can discuss about this? Nadir Servant, Branded Fusion, Branded Opening, and Tactics and Friends. So the main thing is, first of all, this card plays around specifically Droll and Lockbird because it gets you Branded Fusion in the draw phase. And Branded Fusion, the thing is with these two cards, both of them ideally want to be ashed. And sometimes, like, in case of Nadir Servant, you can get, like, Ghost Build, but it's fine. So, how do you interact when you expect that your opponent plays Droll? So, first of all, if we can, like, let's say we got like just this hand. Sometimes your hand is like not good enough or something. I'll also get an Ecclesia here. And like usually you just have to kind of respect the fact that everybody's maining Droll, so there's like a 33% chance that you just eat the card and just are like pissed. I'll say directly, if you play into a board and eat this, it's probably game over and there's not much you can do about it. Unless you have a very specific hand. So there's no magic tool about this. Hand traps plus boards always were very game winning, let's say that. And not much to say about that. So no, this deck is not the magic I beat everything without issue, but you can do your part. So first of all, if you can and opening, wow, crazy, I know, the play of words here. You will, in draw phase, shotgun the opening and special summon an Aluber and discard whatever. And the Aluber will get you a Branded Fusion. And your first thing you will do is, of course, Branded Fusion. Like, no matter what, you just shotgun this the first thing you do in that turn. Because, like, every other player would just specifically ash this. And if they don't, and you put them on have it or not, and if they don't have it, you get yourself one disruption and follow-up, which is the form of Mirror Jade. And you can technically set up your graveyard, depending on how it goes. But that is, of course, obvious. And, of course, Branded Fusion does not eat Droll at all, which is important. Sometimes you will have to normal summon this, and, like, it's okay to normal summon this, specifically if you have Nadir. Because Branded Fusion just is good enough through... Like, you put them again on have Ash+Droll, which is okay. But otherwise, let's say we are playing around Ash+Droll because that's probably what you guys want to see. And this is what we got. Like 3 random cards, Nadir and Fusion, and our opponents have Ash and Droll. So, first of all, we do Nadir, Branded Fusion. This will eat an Ash Blossom. Fine. So this goes to graveyard. Now you activate Nadir Servant. The question is, this is a searcher that searches searchers. So what do? You do not send like anything that directly searches something or like only generates value with searching. But instead, what you do is you send specifically Ludo Validith. And that is where it would technically be good to play too. So you send this and you get yourself your Ecclesia to hand. And now your opponent was good at the game and has Droll. Okay. Now, technically, you have two options. Either you pass turn here, or actually, not pass turn, move to the end phase. Or, if you have opened any of these two cards, you try to resolve them. Like, if you can resolve, if it's your first turn, your opponent will not control any cards. You activate Tactics. There's nothing they can do about this. And then you will set yourself specifically Dogmatika Punishment. But sometimes you just don't have it. So you get this and set it, which is already like a premium interruption. But even if you don't, or if you just hard drew it, it's fine. And if you activate this, you just loop their hand, which is fine. But let's say we just drew pure trash or something, or hand traps or something. There's still interruptions. Okay, so this is our hand. We're drolled. We got ashed on our Branded Fusion. We now move to the end phase. If they don't have specifically like DD Crow, you're good. Because in the end phase, Effect Lulu Validith will summon yourself Incredible Ecclesia. And Incredible Ecclesia is, if your opponent does summon anything that scares you, you just effect Ecclesia. And like even if they summoned Fenrir, you're fine. Because like let's say they summon Fenrir. I'll get quickly one out of my binder. Or actually nah, don't bother. If they summon Fenrir, you trigger this. And you special summon out of your deck the good old Fallen of Alvaz. And Fallen of Alvaz will discard one random card and then fuse into either Sprint, which is probably the most summonable card in this format. If you have the extra ability, if they summon a light monster, you summon Albion. And if you have a dark monster and enough cards to discard, you can summon Lubellion. But if you play against Kashtira, you just summon this probably. Or if they summoned Unicorn, you can summon this, which is a big beat stick, which is hard to out unless they have Fenrir. And this is at least like one interruption. If you're lucky, it's two interruptions. If you wait until they summon from the extra deck, it's two. Because you get a Mirror Jade. And you get your follow-up too. You get like massive follow-up on the next turn. And this is how you play around Ash+Droll if you open the God combo of Nadir and Branded Fusion. Which is kind of crazy that you can do that. But yeah, then let's say we're just opening Dogmatika stuff here, okay? And the thing is, with just Dogmatika stuff, you will probably die to this no matter what. So, next thing. We assume our opponents have Droll, and we have specifically, like, if we have her and Zoa in our hand, and, like, 3 unplayables, what you do is you normal summon this effect, and no, we're not searching for Matrix. Matrix is greedy. You search directly for your, what's it called, your Calamity, and now your opponent drolls you, and then you just Calamity for the Albazoa, and send the Lulu, and then you just resolve Zoa and loop 7 cards with their extra deck. And then in the end phase, you get your incredible card, Ecclesia, and that's how you like have at least one interruption. And depending on and you have like 3 other cards in your hand. One of them will be a discard fodder for Ecclesia here, which is okay. Just remember if you can summon stuff in defense, because otherwise like Pearly can just OTK you. Sadly, like your normal summon will be an attack. If you open Matrix, it's even better, because like if you open Matrix plus a ritual monster, like you don't care at all, and you just summon stuff in defense, and then you can trigger this, and you can send yourself the, what's it called? You can send, in addition, like either from their extra deck or from your extra deck, and you send Albion. And then you can set yourself a branded opening, technically, or which is the less greedy version of those. Or you set yourself branded fusion, which is the greedy version. And then you still get the incredible Ecclesia. And because we play 2 Fallen of Albas, you still get some value out of this. It will happen a lot that this deck is so shitty that Droll, like you only do 1 search because you bricked so hard, and then they throw Droll and you're just like, oh cool, they hand looped themselves. This is a little bit of a baby rage here, but it's also kind of a reality of this deck. And lastly, like if you don't open the stuff at all, and this is why you play punishment, like let's say here you opened, I don't know, this, and just Ecclesia. Like, you then just normal summon Ecclesia and directly search punishment here. And if they Droll you then you're just like, okay, cool. If they Ash you, you're fucked, but who cares? Because you have like a lot of hand traps. And then, yeah, they Droll you again, and you just say, okay, set 1, pass. I still have enough hand traps. Hopefully you can't kill me. And if something says that they can kill you, you just punishment, send yourself the Titaniclad, and then you get into your actual Dogmatika stuff, which then results in you doing comebacks. And this is also what you can try to do if you play against Branded and they gimmick puppet you. You just specifically go into, like, if you get gimmick puppeted, yes, this is a little bit of a bonus. Your main goal is just to resolve Matrix, and Matrix will then search you any like ritual cards and then punishment. And this is like your lifeline specifically. And if you have the option, you will also branded opening for like you're gonna let them resolve I don't know, Incandescent Dragon or Expulsion, and then you just use the fact that, and then you chain this, and because you're the first one to resolve, you get to special summon your Aluber, and then if you special summon your Aluber, you get at least like 1 additional like body on field, which makes it a little harder for you to die. Just a little bit, okay? It's nothing excessive. But yeah, if you have Matrix and you're playing against Branded and they floodgate you, you just use this to get to your punishment. And again, this is why punishment is mandatory in this deck, and maybe even worth to play at too. So that is mainly how you play around Ash+Droll. Sometimes people will just have better hands than you, but remember, if you see Nadir's Servant plus any way to Branded Fusion that is not Drollable, you are winning some, or you're at least in such a favorable position that like they hand loop themselves for 2 and you still have an interruption. So you're playing 4 cards versus 1 to 2 interruptions, and you still have 3 cards in hand. You should be in a very good position card economy wise, which is great. Yeah, this is how you beat this current format concerning hand traps, and also a little bit how you deal with the Expulsion Lock. This deck is especially good into the Expulsion Lock. Yeah. Hope you guys learned something. See ya.